Good evening, guys. Welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is your host, Frank the Vamp. We are continuing our top 10 best my top 10 favorite Stephen King adaptations. And if you've been following me, we just got talking about Carrie at number 7. Awesome movie. And the awesome movie is just going to continue on until we're counting down to number 1. However, my next two picks, already going to tell you, they're going to be controversial. There's a lot of people that don't regard these films. In my opinion, they're awesome films. But there are a lot of people who don't like them, which I completely respect, and I can see why. But I'm totally going to defend my position in the next two. So bear with me, don't boo me until you hear the whole argument. And remember, it's all about perspective. Some movies work for some people, some movies don't work for some people, which I completely understand. But this movie completely worked for me. The movie we're going to talk about tonight is Needful Things. Before we begin discussing that, I guess we got to give you the premise. The devil comes to Castle Rock, Maine, under an assumed name, and of course doesn't announce himself as the Prince of Darkness, right? So he just goes in and says, "Hey, my name is Leland Gaunt, and I'm an antique, shop owner, and I'm gonna set up shop in town." And of course, Maine, Castle Rock, Maine, Stephen King, he loves his state of Maine. So he sets up shop and begins basically set up and selling items that are special. They have some kind of either mystic magical powers. Some items can actually tell the future. Some items can basically heal or temporarily heal illness if you wear them. They're nostalgic items that have been long lost, or very valuable items. But the people of Castle Rock are not asked for monetary payment. They're asked to do these favors, and the favors that the devil asks doesn't have anything to do with money. It's more like doing basically little practical jokes, so to speak, to each other, but doing them in such a way that basically makes the people downtown that were already enemies, they become mortal enemies, and until chaos, because everybody starts hating on each other because everybody's doing not just innocent practical, just like really hurtful and mean and borderline, criminal activities, horrible criminal activities on each other, and that's basically the devil's plot, to have everyone just kill each other and take their souls right to hell. And going back to the argument of against why people don't like it, is because in the book, the items look horrible or shitty to everybody else that sees them, except to the item owner. So it's kind of like an illusion type of thing. And in the book, the item looks what the item is supposed to look like. Which I completely, understand why you wouldn't like it, because it goes away from that and you like that. But think about it, it's kind of visually unless you read the book, you wouldn't understand. It will have to be, more work put into it. So I completely understand why the director, didn't want to change that specific, side. And there's other differences.
Let's start with the acting. Sydow, they had this horror films of all time. Now he plays, Father Marin, and now we got him playing the actual dead. He's such a powerful actor that he does an outstanding job, and then proof of it, the scene where he's listening to the Ave Maria, and he's watching one of the best, coolest action scenes where the two ladies, I think it's Nettie, played by Amanda Plummer, and Wilma by Vane Bloomfield, that they hate each other and they're literally killing each other in an awesome knife fight. That, while this awesome song is going on, they're killing each other. That's another great thing about this. This film is really musical. In the Hall of the Mountain King is being played also when more practical jokes are being played against the guy that hates being called Buster Keaton. That's another great character, which is J.T. Walsh. It's full of great performances. Love the Reverend Rose and basically the Catholic Church and the Protestant Church are fighting each other to death. Because they have such rivalry, but now the hatred, God's gone out the window pretty much, and everyone hates each other, and this is why I think this film is an awesome winner, because all the actors, awesome, great. Ed Harris as the sheriff, beautiful. Everybody's his fiance. Oh, the acting is awesome, the story is awesome, and you have the premise of this. If you're a believer on that there is life after death, usually you all believe that there is a called Satan, Mephistopheles, whatever you want to call him, someone that preys on your soul. And if you don't believe in that, and you believe more that humans can do horrible acts when pressure upon, and that humans themselves can be monsters and they don't need any outside influence, this movie awesomely works, because you see the seduction that even the most humane, loving person can be turned into a cold-blooded killer if the wrong circumstances happen to be and if anger. I mean, I seen horrible things going on in the world, and I mean, you might just, I seen people like on the road, they have a car crash, and it could be the nicest people, they come out with road rage, and everything changes. Like life and death situations can happen like that. Somebody snaps and stabs somebody, and then they'll ask the guy and says, I don't know why I did that. It's almost like the devil got into me. And it's a really creepy, horrible subject, that some people, fear. And I think this appeals both to, if you believe in the supernatural, you believe in the life after death subject, then you can see how the devil can influence. And even if you don't, you can just see how human nature can become catastrophic, a monstrosity, and why horrible crimes have been committed through history. So that's why I think Needful Things, it's an awesome story. I mean, it shows you how much the devil enjoys having us destroy each other instead of loving each other, instead of loving one another, instead of if you believe
if you believe that there is good out there, if you believe that there's a God, and God is love, right? And you should love thy neighbor, right? So there you go. I mean, that's complete opposite. That's the complete, so being displayed on this thing. So a lot of food for thought and a lot of thinking goes on this movie. In I think it's far deep from what it's saying. I know I respect if you do not like it, but I mean, if you look past the message that it's saying, it's actually a very deep one that is not addressed enough. How one can turn from being a lovely, awesome member of society into a cold-blooded killer just because of a bad decision, just because of a fit of rage. And whether you believe that it's caused by, unfortunate circumstances or by human nature, or the outside influence of an actual devil, it's food for thought. And that's why, my friends, I really like Needful things. Stay tuned next video, because we're gonna talk about another Stephen King choice that may shock you. If you're enjoying my list, let's keep counting down to number one. So
till the next time, sweet dreams.